Hey there, Scoobies. This is going to be painful. We finally get our first Willow-centric episode, so...
I think it's time we break up!
Yay! The Moloch of the week. Get it? Because Moloch is Hebrew for demons, apparently. Well, anyway, he's lame. The end, where we get the Robo-Moloch, is true cringe, and the overall episode could have been handled to better effect. That said, let's get into it. We open on a flashback of the year 1418 in Italy, where Moloch is, loving his disciples, and a band of priests take him down by trapping him in a book. Okay, now let's burn it. Bury it? Okay, gift wrap it. Yep, you got this. In present, Giles is collating and scanning the library, and we get some Oscar-worthy dialogue on the notion of the past and humanity's rather lonely future.
The only reality is virtual. If you're not jacked in, you're not alive.
This introduction to Jenny Calendar works well enough. It shows her to be the yin to Giles' yang.
Oh, I know our ways are strange to you, but soon you will join us in the 20th century. With 3 whole years to spare.
The next day, Buffy finds Willow walking the halls all smitten, and we get...
Does he go here? What's his name? Have you kissed him? What's he like?
No, Malcolm, no, and very nice.
Do they actually talk about anything else this season? I mean, I can't believe I didn't really notice this before.
It's me on the cheerleading squad, adored by every varsity male as far as the eye can see.
Oh, are you guys going out?
Did he,
James Spader.
He needs to call me. Thinking about things.
So we're talking about a guy?
It's senior boys.
He's sensitive yet manly. I'm not constantly monitoring his health, his moods, his blood pressure.
130/80.
What are you talking about?
Boys.
On a serious note, in my Willow character analysis, I talk about how Willow acts as Buffy's spirit, and how I find that Willow's story arc often follows Buffy's throughout the seasons, in some rough kind of way. In the previous episode, Buffy and Angel finally get together, so is it any wonder that her spirit is going through its own euphoria in the very next episode? Looking back at this episode, it's funny watching Buffy wig out over Willow's online conversation and questions of the danger of it.
That's incredibly stupid.
Will, down girl. Let's focus here, okay? What do you actually know about this guy?
I think it's funny because this is now the primary dating technique around the world, and despite that, I still don't disagree with anything that she said. Next up is Xander's turn, and this time we don't actually have to point out his jealousy.
Everyone deserts me.
Check out the jealous man.
What's especially telling here is Buffy's keen insight into the way he likes to be Willow's world, but not actually dates her.
What are you talking about?
You're jealous?
Of what?
Willow's got a thing and Xander's left hanging.
Oh, that's meaningless drivel. I'm not interested in Willow like that.
Yeah, but you got used to being the belle of the ball.
This actually shows that she's more perceptive of the dynamics in their group than she actually lets on. We see Moloch's effect taking hold, and the next day that it's getting to Willow too.
Whoa, you're late, girl.
I overslept.
Till 5th period?
Buffy goes to see Dave for help tracing Willow's boyfriend, which gets an odd response. She decides to follow Dave to the CRD and report back to Giles and Xander over her findings. Willow is continuing to chat to Malcolm, who makes a rookie error.
Buffy just makes trouble. That's why she got kicked out of her old school.
How did you know that?
Giles and Jenny are arguing like an old married couple.
You're a snob.
I have no such thing.
Oh, you are a big snob.
And Jenny stumbles on the book Moloch was kept in. Buffy is tricked into going to the girls' locker room where Fitz tries to kill her. Lucky, Dave had a change of heart that Moloch wasn't really pleased with. The crew realise that the scanner read the book, and now that he's everywhere. And what does he do with his time?
I've never felt this way about anyone before, Willow.
I know what you mean.
Buffy finds David, and it's getting just a little bit disturbing how easily she's beginning to shrug off teen deaths now.
Dave. He's dead.
How?
Well, it looked like suicide.
With a little help from my friends?
I guess Fritz. One of their zomboids from CRD. Okay.
Willow gets home and finds the message from Malcolm. I kind of like the change here. Willow may have jumped in head first, but it only took one red flag to make her more cautious. Just not cautious enough. Giles reveals to Jenny what happened, and in classic subversion...
There's a demon in the internet.
I know.
Buffy and Xander arrive too late and conclude Willow must be at the CRD. Back with Giles, Jenny reveals that she's a...
Techno-pagan is the term.
liar. Willow wakes up, rolls over, and...
You think you're the first guy who ever rolled over, saw it was lying next to him, and went, yeah!
Pretending you loved me?
I do.
The conversation between Willow and Moloch would have had more punch if it hadn't been spelled out for us previously.
Unless I'm mistaken, this is Moloch, the Corruptor. A very deadly and seductive demon. He draws people to him with promises of love, power, knowledge.
Which has been one of the main issues of Season 1. Giles and Jenny work to put Moloch back in the book while Buffy and Xander are being gassed. We get some poltergeist kind of shit, and...
Hey! I gotta hit someone!
Good for you. We get the cheapest version of the Terminator I think I have ever seen, and the episode comes, thankfully, to an end. Honestly, I really struggled with this one. I'm not sure what the lesson is here.
The one boy that's really liked me, and he's a demon robot. What does that say about me?
The obvious message of the episode relates to the dangers of online dating, especially as they saw it back in the 90s, while the internet was still in its infancy, but I don't feel there is much nuance outside of Willow's small amount of character growth. For a shining moment, we see a little fire, only to end again in self-doubt. The one thing that the final moments of the episode does do is foreshadow that the trio's love lives are, to a certain degree, doomed, as they put it.
Let's face it, none of us are ever going to have a happy, normal relationship.
We're doomed.
This isn't strictly true, but an argument can be made that there is more death and tragedy in their love lives than the average person. So, there is that.
Yeah.